Hey, welcome to my class. This is North Georgia Statistics 1401, and I'm your professor, Rob Sin. And I just had a few things I want to go over with you so that we can kind of, talk about how things are going to run. First of all, I'm going to post videos every Tuesday and Thursday. Okay, so that's when they're going to be there. I'm planning to keep them short, 10 to 20 minutes. I will put the links in D2L, plus there may be some additional resources that you might want to look at while you're watching the videos, and I'll post those links in D2L. And by the way, all videos are going to be uploaded and saved in my YouTube channel. So you can bookmark that and you can, find them there, or you will have the links in D2L. There will be readings and quizzes. So yes, there will be quizzes on the readings. So yes, you do need to do the readings. Like this week, you need to read chapter 1 in our textbook. There will be labs and homeworks. Those are assignments that you'll need to turn in. All of the links are on the course schedule in D2L, and they're neatly organized so that you can see which things are due. I'll talk a little more extensively about those in the next video. There are online help sessions. So 3 professors, myself, and Professors Bailey and Vellatini will all be meeting once a week online to help you guys. And any student in any of our 1401 classes can attend any of the online help sessions. You just find one, whatever. It might be time-based, something that fits in your schedule. For example, say my online help session Tuesdays at 1 o'clock, just may not be convenient because you may have another class at Tuesday, Thursday at 1 o'clock or something. So you might attend, Professor Bailey's on Wednesdays. And so that'll be fine. Any student from any of our classes can attend any of the online help sessions. And then I just want to quickly talk about Teams and D2L. First of all, you probably got a couple of emails yesterday inviting you to some Teams. So there are 2 things. First, my classes have their own individual Teams group, and I tend to share information there. Also, I want to talk about that. There's also a private chat option, and I ask my students to communicate with me in Teams. Can you email me? Sure. But I check Teams more often, and Teams is much more convenient for the kind of help people usually need. And being able to use the chat feature, for example, you can take a quick screenshot and paste a photo into the chat in Teams and hit enter, and then I can suddenly see a photo of what it is you're working on, what you're seeing on your computer. If there's an error message, I can see the error message. I can see what you typed in, the text that you typed in. So Teams is very flexible and efficient for the kind of help people need, and I check it a lot. I have an app. I have the Teams app on my phone, so even if it's like 9 o'clock at night and I'm not really looking at my computer or at Teams, if I pick up my phone, just like I'd see a text message that came in, I'll see a Teams message that came in. And if you need help, the quickest way is to use Teams. So yes, can you email me? Yes. Do I prefer it? No, I prefer that you touch base with me in Teams. Also, D2L, our entire course, all the links are going to be in D2L, and you probably need to be checking our D2L course frequently, probably at least once a day. And I will try to put announcements up, and I will try to help you, but you do need to be checking D2L. So I've already had a couple of students say, I'm not good at programming. I don't want to take a programming class. I don't want to do Python. I just want to do statistics. And if that's you, that's fine. I understand that feeling, perhaps better than you know. But I just do want to say that there's going to be a technology component in any stats class you take. And sometimes it's the graphing calculator, which is a technology that many of us feel more comfortable with. But we're going to use this programming language called Python, and It's not that bad. We actually do almost no programming at all. And there's this data science package, which we're going to use, which has simplified everything, really streamlined everything. So there's really not that much programming, very, very, very little programming at all. And furthermore, you don't even really need to know much about Python. We have our own data hub, so there'll be links in D2L. You click on them from a computer or your phone or an iPad or a tablet, and you just click on the link. And yes, you can program in Python on the Jupyter Hub using your phone or using a tablet. I use my computer because I find it easier to type using a computer. Um, but the cool thing is that every single student is going to have their own space on the data hub to save their files. And so if you're doing a homework file and you need to stop halfway because you've got class or you just want to go hang with your friends or whatever, you can hit save and be able to come back to that file and have all of your work saved. Again, there's no worry about having the right version of this software or that software. All you do is click on the link and you're inside the data hub. Okay? So, yes, we're going to be learning a few commands in Python, but we're going to be doing almost no programming at all. And I just want you to know that when there is programming to be done, we do it for you, usually. Especially when it's anything at all sophisticated, we'll provide you the code blocks. And so you just can execute it. You can just copy paste it right into your document and execute it and have all of the sophisticated stuff that you need. And I want to take this moment to do a quick statistics show and tell using Python so you can kind of see what it is I'm talking about. Okay, sorry for the awkward pause there. So this is what we're talking about, and you can just open up these cells and you can just type whatever you want. And let me say that when I'm done typing, I hit Shift Enter. Why? Well, you want to execute the lines of code, and I actually don't want that anymore. Oops. And if you want to delete something, you do the same thing you would in any other browser. You highlight it and hit delete. And again, this is a fairly complicated set of commands in Python. But you can see that we are importing the data science package, which is important, and this just makes our graphics look nice. And I don't know that there are going to be any graphics, but there we go. Oh, wait, sorry, let me make sure that I've imported the data science. All right. And there's this large data set filled with personality variables that have been collected from UNG students. And we can execute this code block below. And again, this is rather complicated to get typed in, so we'll usually provide you with something like this. And so what's going on here? Let's just talk about it. It is creating a table called pers. Again, that's my abbreviation for personality. And then what we're doing in this class is we're learning how to use these methods. And this is the show method. What does show 5 mean? It's going to show 5 rows in the data table. If I do show 25 and hit Shift Enter, wow, you can see there's a lot more data down below and 104 rows omitted. So there's like 130 students who are appearing in this table. And it's just easier if I do something like show 5, because I can see there is data and I can see what kind of data, whether it's yes or no type data or whether it's numeric data. I can see that. And look, oh yes, there are lots more variables over this way. Okay, and we'll talk throughout the semester about what these different ones mean. I want to keep this short, so let's see. Okay, so this says for the pers table, do this data science command called group, and it needs to know which variable you want to group. So we are going to look at this variable, sit class, and it's just all we ask was students say in a normal classroom, do you want to sit in the front, the middle, or the back? You can see. Okay, and what do? Oh, we not only get the different values, also known as levels of the variable, we also get a count to see how many students answered each thing. And you can see that the most popular is people want to sit in the middle. And then second most popular is people want to sit in the front. And yes, there are some people who do prefer to sit in the back. Okay, and all you have to do to get this is dot group and tell it which variable that you would like to look at. Dot hist. If you know anything about statistics, yes, we do look at histograms. So I bet the dot hist is a histogram. And again, we just give it a variable. So the sleep variable is just the number of hours of sleep on average that they've gotten over the last 48 hours. I mean, it's the total. We ask them the total hours of sleep they got in the last 48, and then we divide it by 2. So it should be an average per day or an approximation of that. And I hit Shift Enter and notice that there is a histogram now that says sleep. And there are these people who only got 2 hours of sleep and 4 hours of sleep. So there were some. But you see that the tall bars in here are showing that most people got 6, 7 hours of sleep. Okay. And we can take a look at different variables and see who got more sleep than others. And then scatter, again, if you have had anything about statistics, you know there's this thing called a scatter plot. And so I want to do a scatter plot with, with perfectionism and OCD indicators. And I just made a quick change to that. And so yes, this is a scatter plot. Unfortunately, it's hard to see kind of what's going on because there are about 150 dots and you can't really see. It kind of looks like there may be a trend from the bottom right, bottom left towards the top right, but it's hard to see. So I can do this fit line equals true, which basically just puts a trend line in for me. And there you go. You can see that there does appear to be an upward trend. And that higher levels of perfectionism tend to correspond to higher levels of the number of OCD indicators that were present when the person was taking the survey. So the things that we have to type in are not that hard. Dot scatter, dot hist, dot group. Those are ones we'll use all the time. And I'm not going to go any deeper into that. That's all the show and tell I wanted to do. I do want to clarify that this isn't that hard. You'll get very good at using 3 or 4 methods, and there also is a Python reference chart. So if you ever forget which one, what am I supposed to use? You can go look and you can find dot scatter on the Python reference sheet, and there are hints about how to use it yourself. So there's going to be lots of help. And again, you're going to have to learn some kind of technology. Why Python? Python makes it really cool. I couldn't even look at a data table like this in a normal stats class, in a traditional stats class. Why? Because there's just no way that the software could handle this big a table. And again, you see how fast it does this. It does this in just seconds, right? It takes the sit class, and in a split seconds, it's able to go through what we were saying was 130 different students, and it finds the right variable, and it finds all the different levels and counts up how many are in each level. And so Python, the reason we're using it is that way you get a much more realistic feel for what statistics is about. We can use a realistic data table of 130 people and 30 different variables. And again, we just have to tell it which one we're interested in, whether we're interested in the sleep variable or the CAF variable, that's caffeine consumption per day. And notice that there are a lot of what we might call outliers over here on the right. So there's some people that drink a lot of caffeine, and there's some people that drink almost no caffeine if you look on the left of that histogram. So this is the type of thing that we'll expect you to do, to type in .hist and then to list the name of the column that you're interested in. But it's not that hard, and I hope that this has demystified that a little bit. And again, welcome to my stats class. I'm looking forward to it. I really enjoy this, and and hopefully we'll have a good semester together.